What was that?
Good morning, Aria Adams. We hope you had a restful sleep at the Entropy Centre.
What? Where am I?
Please find your timetable for today's puzzle exercises on your personal computer.
Okay, what is going on?
What's up, gamers? Welcome to my review of the Entropy Centre. This is a puzzle game where you discover a weapon that allows you to rewind time. Now let's jump in. The game starts off with you waking up in a mysterious lab and encountering robots.
Do you know what happened here?
And the game also contains a very cute and fun sense of humor that lasts throughout the experience, whether you're encountering quirky robots or even talking to your weapon. The game then introduces you to the basics of puzzle solving, placing cubes onto little platforms that open doors, etc. You'll also find computers throughout the environment that will fill you in on the lore, as well as dialogue throughout the game. This part here is when you first encounter your weapon that allows you to rewind time. The Entropy Centre only functions because people are testing and solving these puzzles and generating entropy energy, which is needed to reverse time for the Earth, which is the main reason for the Entropy Centre. This is Astra, your quirky weapon
What is this?
that Arya ends up using throughout the game.
Very nice to meet you.
Why did you jump out at me like that?
Apologies. I did not mean to startle you. I have just been inactive for a very long time. My name is Astra. I am a puzzle exercise assistant, or P for short.
Wait, a what?
You are now in possession of a handheld entropy device capable of rewinding objects into the past. Give it a try.
Nice to meet you, Astra.
Once you have your weapon, the game will introduce you to the various mechanics of being able to rewind certain objects in the environment,
Great. Deploying
but
emotional
not
support.
living beings.
So can I use this, or you, on anything?
The handheld entropy device only contains enough
Now
power
you're
to
able
rewind static
to
objects
rewind
up to
the
300
crumbling
meters in
Entropy
size.
Center that's
In normal
falling
terms,
apart
that
due to
means
extensive
you can rewind
damage.
small structures,
You're able to
trees,
also
and
test out
slow,
physics,
of course. Living animals such as the
throwing
octopus
different
cat
devices
cannot be
around,
Right.
repairing
So
things,
rewinding cat.
as well as this apple that's already been eaten and has started rotting. You're able to rewind time, regenerate the apple.
Warning.
You'll discover that as the Entropy Center falls apart, you'll be able to reverse some of the destruction and able to solve puzzles and progress through the environment. The Entropy Center has a lot of difficult puzzles that you will encounter, and most of them will sort of culminate around the middle of the game being the most difficult. Whereas, as I got towards the end of the game, I felt like I had a pretty good understanding of how the different puzzle blocks worked and how to manipulate time in order to achieve my goals. But the game was still challenging from start to finish. It did start to drag and overstay its welcome, but I was determined to see what the end of the game was all about and discover as much lore as possible. You'll have to think about solving these puzzles from the end to the beginning. So with this cube here, I rewound it so that it would go to the final destination, which was to finally
Congratulations.
activate
You
the
just
switch
completed your
on the
first
final
official
door.
entropy puzzle.
Going
You
into this
finished the
next
top
room, you have to
5%
consider the same thing.
Nice.
You have to
of
get
the
through 3
entropy
doors,
staff members.
and by activating the first platform, you open doors 1 and 3. But you need to open door 2, so that means the block needs to move there. You can only rewind for so long, which makes certain puzzles aggravating and difficult at times. But eventually, you'll learn to overcome these struggles. You're also able to stop rewinding time so that you can drop the blocks onto platforms with
So,
expert
did
precision.
I used to work here or something? And what are all these rooms?
The Entropy Center database shows that you are an employee, a junior puzzle operative. You are currently navigating through puzzle areas. Section 0, 1.
Being able to stop time allows you to suspend objects in the air as well, which will come in handy when solving puzzles. This was a game that was both fun and challenging. My only concerns were that the game started to drag after a while. They were putting more and more puzzles between you and your urgent goals to rewind the Earth and save the world, and give Earth more time to reconsider their decisions and stop whatever impending calamities were on the way. The Entropy Center exists for that sole reason, to generate energy in order to rewind the Earth and send them the data they need to avoid cataclysmic disaster. But the game often just throws you in puzzle rooms, only to allow you to break out of said rooms and get to restricted areas of the center to achieve your goals, but you'll then be thrown back in puzzle rooms, simply solve more puzzles because that's what this game is. Now, the other exciting part about the Entropy Center is that there are some very time-sensitive challenges that the game puts on you. For example, the facility is crumbling. You'll often be chased by droids that will try to attack you, and some of your only strategies are either to fight back with whatever tools you may have at your disposal, or sometimes you just have to run. And so being able to make quick decisions about what you're rewinding and when you're rewinding it, if it's blocking your way, or if the destruction is actually allowing you to access new areas.
This isn't good.
So once again, the game's humor is always fun and charming, and you can certainly compare this game to similar titles like Portal, but I think this game can stand on its own 2 feet as something completely new and different and fun to play. I've mentioned that I do have my reservations, but overall, I think this is a fun game that's certainly worth playing, and it's worth your time. It's challenging, it's lengthy, but that's something that we often wanted from games like Portal. And if you die, the checkpoints are rather generous and can allow you to get right back into the action and try to figure out what mistakes you may have made. I do think that the game should have had more options for what the gun can actually do. It simply rewinds time, and then you can also fire a short blast at objects in order to allow the data of that object to be wiped, so that you'll have more time to create a rewinding pattern. So it would have been more interesting perhaps if you had 2 separate beams and maybe you were able to rewind multiple objects at a time, thus making puzzles even more difficult to solve, because you would have to manage multiple rewinding timelines. So after a while it did become kind of samey, but it was overall challenging and fun, and me being someone that enjoys puzzle type games, I found this to be a worthwhile experience. So I would like to thank everyone over at Evolve PR for sending me a code, Stubby Games for developing this game and allowing me access to their title, and also Playstack, the publisher, for sending a code for review and for me to play through. And you can find my playthrough here on YouTube. I'll also have a live stream where I'll be playing the game and answering questions live. But so far, that's my thoughts on the Entropy Center. I think it's worth your time. I think it's an interesting game, but it does have some of its pitfalls. Just the fact that it drags on after a while, and some of the puzzles can be aggravating, and some of the mechanics, like the physics and puzzle solving, can get repetitive and difficult. So thank you for watching this video, and I hope you enjoy my playthrough of the Entropy Center. Take care.